Do 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 do. I got that little light in there behind me. Do 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 do. Let some people jump in here. Do 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 do. Hello, everybody. Hello, sports fans. How are you? There's Malaya's mom. There's Easy Lanes. Easy Lane says, I'm quick. We'll pin your message up there. There we go. There's Miss Nancy. There's Betty. There's Miss Karen. There's Ladybug. There's Ken. There's Rita. There's Jean. There's Elmwood. There's Vivian. How is everybody tonight? There's Ellen. There's David and Tammy. There's Glow. How are you? Oh, Rosa, California. Very nice. There's Melissa. There's Pamela. Coming in just to listen. You're not going to participate with us? Lisa's in the house. There's Teresa. There's Monica. Doing really good. Had a great day. Awesome. I love when you have great days. Have not. I was hoping to possibly hear from him last night, and I have not heard from him. Hopefully he will pop back on tonight somewhere. I'm doing laundry, dishes. I will listen tonight. Y'all, you're good. Miss Monica, my day was a good day. It's a very beautiful day here in the state of Virginia. It's the little chill in the air this morning. We picked some chili for dinner tonight, and needless to say, the reindeers may make me pay for that in a little bit, but you know how reindeers can be. Jean said, I finished my fall cleaning. Awesome. Hello, Peter. How are you? Yeah, it was a little chilly this morning. I think the high today here in the area got up into the 60s. It was sunny, very sunny today. Chilly out tonight, yes. Ken, where did that happen? You know, back in the day, I remember going in and you were able to get 4 tires for your vehicle at a fairly reasonable rate. Now you go in and depending on what you're driving, I'm talking you're leaving out of there with $1,000 to a $1,500 bill for 4 new tires. I used to remember the deals they give you buy 3 and they gave you 1 free. I don't even see that anymore. Hello, Anita. Anita said she needs some prayers tonight. Tomorrow is the day of cancer test. Clean the house, spend time with the fur babies. Had a happy meal tonight. Miss Anita, you got it. Miss Anita. I am the guys who said I like cowboys. There you go. Okay, I'll be listening for if you have to pick up my son. You're good. Yeah, for your Forerunner is about $850 these days. Um, I know for I've got the pickup truck, and for the pickup, it's $1,000 to put tires on it these days. Unbelievable. Yes, prayers for Tanita, and prayers for Anita, prayers for Terry. Terry, I hope you feel better. There's Tony. How are you? Vanessa says she's saying say 6'7". I'm going to start charging to say 6'7". Um, that is one of those things that I guess the older you are, these young kids love for us to say 6'7" these days. CS Sea Spray, my 97 Ford F-350, $2,000 bill per tire 6 months ago. That is ridiculous. What happened? GTA, God bless you. Yeah, that's insane. It really is. Like I said, I remember back in the day that you could go get a set of tires and you got the three, and you got one free and all those special deals. Lisa said, I'm going to be 67 on the 29th. My grandkids think that is hilarious. Thank you, Christ. I appreciate that. Betty, it is something that the young kids are saying these days. Um, it, to me the meaning is like either or kind of things. I think it has several different meanings that a lot, but the kids just love it. Betty, we live in a country or Dollar General. Wow, $800 to get your door handle fixed? Wow, no, that's where I'm just going to the junkyard and taking it off myself, and then coffee has gone ridiculous. $10 a container. Cheap brands, yes. Betty walks everywhere. Good evening from Minnesota. Yeah, no, it used to be, you'd go into the store, you'd have $50 in your pocket, and you'd walk out, and you'd have several bags of stuff with you. Now it's like $50 is one bag, and there's still room left in the bag. All these tariffs and things like that. Hello, Miss Ellen. Sorry, I had to leave. You're fine. Yep, chats move as fast as Rudolph. If I don't see you, just well, thank you, GTA. Like I said, guys, with your subscriptions that you do when you subscribe to the channel, what I do is when we get off here at night, if you've got your settings set up to where I can go back and subscribe with you, I subscribe with you. So if you ever look one day and you're like, wow, I've got 3 subscribers, and you look into your subscribers, more than likely I'm going to be one of those. Taco night was 60. Hold on. Today, Kroger posted no more pennies will be given change. They'll round up or round down. I saw that. Several stores are doing that as well now. Uh, that's, I think what did they say that the American penny right now is costing the U.S. government 3 cents to make these days. So the value of the penny is no longer a penny. It's actually like 3 cents from what I'm understanding. The ordinary life. Do you support Palestine? I support peace. I support peace in this world, and however they come to that peace, that's what I'll support. Nobody should die over countries battling over different things. I support peace in this world, plain and simple. Is Miss Monica? Monica said she's got to leave at 8:30. Well, Monica, you hang in there with us. Oh, we got us a question that just popped up. Do you guys want the question? Tell me now. Yes or no? Well, the question just went away. Vanessa says yes to the question. We have, Miss Anita, we have not heard from Jay. The last time I heard from Jay was 2 days ago, and he he has not been back to communicate with the chat, and um, it might have been you, Anita, that he was talking to the other night and was explaining about his dog and everything, and he was going through some different issues. Um, I was seeing he was having a conversation. A lot of prayers for Jay. You got it. Yeah, definitely prayers. Ordinary life. This is a peace. This is a peaceful and loving chat room. Understand that people may not have the same opinions that you do, and we can have that conversation. Just stay within the parameters of the room. Don't veer off, and don't, if somebody doesn't agree with you, please don't get nasty with somebody. Uh, we've got the watchdogs out there that will remove you from the room. I'm not saying you're doing anything wrong right now. I'm just saying, Malaya's mom she is our sniper, and she's the one that if she feels that it's getting a little too heated, don't be surprised if she puts you in timeout, but don't, just have a nice conversation and we can go from there. Plain and simple. The question, the question they just threw up at me was, and I won't put it up because it's such a big bubble when they put it up in there. What book do you think would be a good movie for them to use the book to turn into a movie? And I don't know how many readers we have in the group, but that is the question. Ellie said, "My question is religion man made?" I got to jump off. Melissa said, "Okay." Melissa says, "I got to jump off for a little bit. My sister had to put her, oh, I'm sorry, had to put her 17-year-old dog to sleep, and she's having a hard time." Definitely, Melissa, prayers for her tonight. Yes, we can do that. Well, thank you, GTA. The Bible, Peter, has so many stories on it, and you know, some of the movies are really solid. Just good movies. Some I think fall short. They try to cover certain things, and they add. Sometimes I don't think they hit the mark. Sometimes um, there's these mini series that they put out and things like that. Do I live in the USA? Yes, I do. I have not seen Gaither in here as well today. Yeah, fur babies are just like family. Anita says, I love reading books. Okay, Frida McFadden. I am not familiar with her books. What can you give us a little rundown there on Frida McFadden, Terry, and let us know? Hello from Ohio. You got it. Hello, Forrest. Um, the North is correct. That's only the winter home, but I'm currently in the U.S. Yes, the east part of the White House is being demolished. I think they said that they're expanding it out for a new ballroom. Okay, the Thursday Murder Club. They put it into a movie. Okay. Yeah, guys, you never know what what somebody will take. We've got there's Sarah. How are you? We've got the young lady here in town, that Beth Macy, and she wrote the book Dope Sick. And once Dope Sick was written and several producers and things like that had seen that book, they knew that they had to get that book into a mini series or a movie or something. And I believe she's on the tour right now for her second book that I think they may turn into a mini series or a television show or something like that, or a movie with that. Okay, coming out December 19th. Christmas fire. Okay. Monica, I hope everybody's having a great evening as well. I've always been one. Okay, Mary Alice Monroe. There is Tippett. Hello, hello from Sharon in Myrtle Beach. Ah, Sharon's got hand surgery. We can pray for you, Sharon. For to heal properly. You got it. You know what always helps with that, Sharon? Bullinoes. Bullinoes will help with everything. They have everything. You can go down there, get you everything. I need to get Bullinoes as a sponsor if you're in Myrtle Beach. Okay. Let's see. Uh-oh, what is this? Very nice. Finishing up some short ribs on mine. There you go. Overnight brushing. Yes. I used to, there was a gentleman, K Ruth, how are you? There was a gentleman that used to, him and I knew each other for years, and George decided he wanted to get into the family business. His family was from Memphis, Tennessee, and George played baseball for the Brewers. And he was talking to me one day and he made the reference. He said, I think I'm going to open a barbecue place. And I said, George, if you ever do it, I will come and help you. And he said, Are you sure? And I said, Yeah. Well, he called me about a year later and he said, I'm getting ready to open this barbecue place up. And I said, Okay, go ahead and do it. And when he did it, him and I worked together for about 3 years. And I was with him every step of the way. And then I said, Look, I've got to step away, but I've done the barbecue as well. Yes. Sarah said, Still can't see you. I just saw K Ruth. Ken G said, I had a pumpkin pie blizzard from Dairy Queen today. What do you think? Barbecue and slaw, yummy, yes. The thing that always gets me are the different sauces all over the country. You've got your Kansas City barbecue, you've got your Carolina barbecue, you got your Memphis barbecue. It's amazing how everything is done. Jackson, I'm not sure where Love Bug is at. Okay, all right, we're gonna pop this up here. Hmm. Are they telling me something? Huh. They might be telling me something. Nothing pops up. Well, then you're just looking at me doing this because I'm seeing the big bubble. Hello, Betty. Cyberhub says, please, I haven't fed my cat for days. I need food. There are, wherever you live, dial 211. There are local shelters and local places in your community. And you'd be surprised these days that not only will give you food, but they will also give your pets food. I am always amazed at that. That is something that I have noticed taking off a lot in this country is that when you go into some of these facilities, not only will they ask you if you need food, but if you have pets at home, and then they will give you food for those. Hello, Jeremy. Max, how are you? Kay said, going back to the voice, I'm seeing Kay Ruth right there. There's Miss M. Some food pantry. Miss Jean, yes. Go to the SPCA, they'll give you food for your pets. There's James from Floyd. Ken, a lot of people are like that. Hello, Pete. There's Ruth. A lot of people are like that. A lot of people would sit there and say, that animal's going to eat before I eat. And I get it. I completely get it. Yeah, Sarah, I'm seeing her. I don't know why you're not seeing her. She's going to continue to watch The Voice though, evidently. Here, let me see something. Let me see if I can find her here. Where'd she go? Because she left a message saying she was going back to watch The Voice. Okay, I'm gonna click on this. Can you guys see the pinned message? Right there. Sarah said, I'll call her later. Dr. Watson would show you how to do it. Praying everybody's doing well tonight. I hope Jeff, I do. I really hope Jeff is doing well tonight. I hope that everything works out for that young man and he can get some things solved. Yes. Robin, we do see you. Airborne. I'm worried about Love Bug. Yeah, she may be going through some things. Not sure. The other night she was on here with us and then she told us bye and she would talk with us later. And then last night I don't think I believe I seen her at all come through. Linda, the good thing is that the time change doesn't happen until what, the first weekend in November? That's a little later than we normally get to see the time change. That time change really messes with a lot of people. I believe you're right, Malaya's mom. She said something about family visiting. So she may not be able to. Hello, Aubrey. She may not be able to be on here because family is visiting. I think, didn't she say she was cleaning for family or something? You got it. Let go, let God. Absolutely. No, the time change is just I do hand out candy. Yes, I do, depending on now this year it's a Friday night. And with it being on a Friday night, we are in, I think, going into week 8 of high school football. So that will put us into week 9. We usually do 10 weeks of high school football. So we're we're getting to the end of high school football, but we're just now starting into maybe going to the road to the playoffs for a lot of that. So on that Friday night, I'll have to work doing some high producing and doing directing high school football. But yes, if I was at the house, I would have, so I have to put the reindeers out there. And let me tell you, that's no kid gets candy if the reindeers are around. I'm telling you that now. What colors are in Kentucky? I had a friend of mine that went to Maine a couple weeks ago, him and his wife, and said that he didn't get to see a lot of the foliage because of it being so dry and because it hasn't gotten to the point where it's been that cold yet. They thought they were getting ready to go up into Maine and see the beautiful colors and things like that, but he was a little disappointed. He said he didn't get to see the colors. Gets dark. Seniors can drive longer. Okay. Yeah, drought did ruin the colors. You got it. Oh, Monica, that's all they're gonna do. They're just going to eat the candy. That I'm telling you now, they'll not one kid will get a piece of candy with them vultures around and doing their thing. Do they play freeze tag? They play a version of it. That's their, you know, you've got to watch how they play, but they play a version of it. Elm said, "Watch it. I'm a senior. Beautiful colors in Wisconsin." Okay, Tracy, I feel you. Oh, do I feel you? Miss Ruth, I see you right there. There we go. Mm, their favorite game to play? Um, Probably making Santa feel old. That's probably their favorite game to play. Um, I'll take my glasses off and lay them down somewhere, and then I'll go back, and the glasses aren't there anymore. And then in my mind, I know that I had laid my glasses down somewhere, and they've laid it somewhere else in the workshop. So you know, and don't even get me going about the keys to the sleigh. There are days I can't find the keys to the sleigh because they're hiding them all over the place. There's Mary. How are you? What's her name? Margie? Margie. You better be good, Margie. The sleigh always has a push button ignition. But again, you got to have the Christmas fob in order to make the push button ignition work. So it's crazy the sleigh need keys. Look, it's an older sleigh. It works perfect for us. Back in the day, it had keys. We still use the keys. Hello, Chris. There is backup. We always have a backup. Don't ever worry about that. Okay, Christian books, Christian novels, Amish books. Yes. Yes, there is a Santa Claus, Virginia. You got it. Who does the maintenance on the sleigh? We have a whole ground crew for that. We make sure that, it is extremely well taken care of. We have it to where um, the ground crew will go out and they'll fly the sleigh around and they'll land it in certain places and then come back to make sure it's handling properly and things like that. Like I said, the reindeers get a break from doing what they're doing. So we have the practice squad that go up and do what they have to do. The reindeers are rock stars. You guys got to understand that. All of them are rock stars. So that is the A team. So a lot of other reindeers and the elves, they don't mess with them. They feed them, they take care of them, they make sure that, but they're like rock stars. There are some days I think they're bigger than Santa, and they think that. I'll be honest with you. Yes, Easy Lanes, they have to train year round. They have to do that. If they don't, they get their timing off a little bit. So, but they do get breaks. They like to go to the beach. They like to, I just want to let you know, renting a condo for reindeer, it's got to have a hot tub. It's got to have two pools, one outdoor, one indoor. They're big fans of the lazy river. Uh, I'm just saying, reindeers and floats. Uh, Sometimes it just doesn't work, but they got to have the lazy river. It does run on Christmas spirit. It does, but we do have the motor as well in case something happens because we do hit certain just the movie Elf wasn't that far off on this. We do hit certain places where the Christmas spirit is not quite as strong in other places. So we got to make sure that we can fly in those areas. Um Santa expensive. Yes. Oh, I have no issue spending time with you guys. I love each and every one of you. There's Miss Oz. James said, "Want to go play where the reindeers are." There you go. I said Margie's name right. There you go. Oh, Aubrey said, "I took a picture of you." Be careful. Do you love Jesus? Yes. Yes. Where are the reindeers? Right now, they are in the barn. They are up for the night. They're just kind of taking it easy. They did some practicing today. They were out. We made sure that Rudolph's nose was shining as bright as it needed to. Uh, we have our, oh, I hear one of them moving around up there now. We had some of them that say that they can't see the nose quite as bright in the fog anymore, so we had to make sure the nose was shined up and taken care of today. If Rudolph catches colds, who leads? It's a very good question. We keep Rudolph in a secluded area about 2 weeks before we get into Christmas for the simple fact that we don't want him catching a cold. And we keep him to where he can guide that sleigh uh, when Christmas shows up. The others are really healthy. They've been really healthy over the last, several hundred years. They've been really good, and rarely do we get into allergies. Are the only thing sometimes we get into. Miss Oz, prayers, you got it. We can give Miss Oz some prayers. How do you make his nose brighter? We just shine it. We just put an extra coat of wax and shine it up, and it just kind of it glows. It's got that subtle glow to it. Do you have girl elves? We do. We have boy and girl elves. Uh, we have them in different compounds. to where they do mingle with each other and things like that. But at night, they're in their own compounds, they're in their own dorms where they can sleep. And yes, we do. They work very well together. Uh, they all get paid the same thing. There's no discrimination here. So just remember, we love everybody, and we take care of the boys just as well as we take care of the girls, and make sure they're paid the same thing. Just saying, just putting that out there. I don't need the labor unions being called on old Saint Nick over here. Just saying. Good night, Monica. Jerry said, Santa, we know you can't afford the 26 model. Let me tell you, that 26 model, that's got things on it I've never seen before, and it scares the daylights out of me. It really does. That sleigh can move. Have a good night, Monica. Robert, we have heard nothing from them right now. The only thing that we know, and we saw it the other day, was that Patrick had gifted them a new vehicle. Uh, Somebody had asked the other day if Larry had a driver's license, and I've known of Larry to drive a truck in some of these videos. That was the one that BJ evidently had wrecked. And then also, somebody had made reference to the fact that Larry was a truck driver back in the day. So we believe that Larry's fine. He's got a driver's license. And but as for the family, we have heard nothing from the family. They were supposed to somewhere either this week or next week have a meeting on possibly setting up some kind of visitation arrangements. And we're seeing that in some of the videos that are being put out. Well, how is Ken ruin a Reese's? The white chocolate Reese cups are my favorite. Okay. Well, thank you, Mouse. I appreciate that. NW Christian, always. We're always praying. You know, who Tracy? Tracy, I hope it is. Um, I hope it's not one of these things where a couple weeks down the road, somebody comes and takes it from them or does some. You know, if you're going to get them something. Don't be somebody who comes back in and just removes it. I know that he did make the Sarah, you got to remember, he is evidently the amount of money that he is making off of his content is unbelievable. There are a lot of people still following Patrick on his content. And when you click on that, you know, I don't know what that money looks like, but evidently, when you sit there and you talk about how they can split 15 grand, because I know at one time they were talking about 5,000 here, 5,000 there, 5,000 here. Um, that's a lot of money off of this content stuff. Yeah, and that's hundreds of thousands of views. It's a little scary. Betty said, "Why don't you ever talk about a Mrs. Claus?" She does her thing, I do my thing. That's just plain and simple. I handle all the day-to-day operations. She takes care of everything else. So, uh-oh, Malaya, who you zapping? I'm going through. Yeah, somebody said BJ had to go to court, but she didn't. Guys, here's the thing. As far as I know, there was, and again, a lot of this he said, she said stuff out there. As far as I know, a lot of stuff, there's no orders for BJ to be away from that house as far as I know. I know that they said at one time there was, but hearing some of the things now and watching some of these other videos, they're saying that there's nothing really there in writing that now if the judge makes that a stipulation, then I'm sure she would have to be uh removed from down there. But as far as I know, you got to remember that's her dad. So, they're going to have her down there regardless. I just feel. I hope she gets better. I pray she gets better. And we've talked about it before. It really falls on BJ to get better. Hello, Daniel. How are you? Oh, Malaya's mom, she's doing her thing tonight. Thank you, Jace. I appreciate that. Sarah, that's right. Yeah, if you don't show up for court, they're going to put that warrant out there for you. You need to show up to court. But here's the thing: they know where she's at. So I'll be honest with you. I don't know if there is anything out there for her right now. There was a lot of he said she said that went through all of this stuff extremely fast, and it was a little scary there because so many lies and things were being told. It got to the point where you were really kind of questioning what was real and what wasn't real. Yes, we always pray for the Whitakers. You got that. You got that right. Goodbye, Aubrey. Yes, Aubrey, do that homework. Make sure you go do your homework. Have a great night. You're always welcome in this room with us. Yes, the Capias. Correct. Yep, they will put a Capias out on her quick as anything. Tracy, I think that was one of the biggest things that when the outside world got into their lives, I don't think it was a good thing. I think it opened the door to the mess that we see today. And I understand Mark was trying to do right by him and was trying to do good for him. But you know as well as I do, when you let the outside world come in, it just doesn't. Mm-mm, it just doesn't go well sometimes. Tony said, but they let the outside world in. You got it. But I think it was a matter of they didn't understand the consequences that comes with letting the outside world in. That's the thing. See, here's the thing, guys. You know it as well as I do when we sit here and we watch everybody on YouTube and things like that and Facebook and X or Twitter it used to be called. When you let everybody come into your life, you're putting your life out there for public consumption. And I got a little fly going around my head here. You put your life out there for public consumption. I don't think a lot of people understand what comes with putting your life out there. Like I said, it was about a week ago that I had a young lady call me at my work, at my job, at the radio station. Here's the thing. Um, it was one of those things where she had entered into my world of my personal, and when I say that, understand how I say that. Um, I'm very open and forward with anybody, but she entered into a world to where people didn't know where to go with it. They sent it to the wrong people. They thought she was talking about somebody else. It just, so it really, it can mess with you because you're looking for something and then you can't find that something. and then it's just all over, it's all over the place. And I think that's what happened with the Whitakers. Once those doors opened up and they let the world in, it didn't just fall off the tracks. I'm talking it ran off the tracks. It just went one way, this way, sideways, up and down. It just went crazy on them. Let's see. Juice World, how are you? I see 3 of you double tap. Can I get 15 more? That's the thing we're waiting on right now. Let's see what happens with Patrick and Eric. A lot of people, and I would say probably 90% of the people that you talk to or you hear from or you listen to, 90% of the people feel like something will be done in this investigation. Now, what is done is up for the, local authorities to do, but you feel like something would have to be done. Um, Pete, you're right. Some things are better just left alone, especially in some of these little small communities. These people, you know, never in their wildest dreams do you ever think that you're going to wake up one day and all of a sudden there's going to be somebody there with a camera in your face. There's going to be somebody, and we live in a very different world these days. Growing up as kids, and we talk about this, and growing up as a kid, if somebody got sick, and say it was a kid in school with you, and that kid got sick, and they just removed him from school, him or her, he just kind of disappeared from school. You really just didn't know what happened to him. That kid just disappeared from school. But now with social media and everything, uh, if you have a child with cancer in your class or a brain tumor or something like that that's going through a car wreck or something, I'm talking everybody knows where that kid's at these days. So and so is sick. So and so, needs prayers. He needs help. Can we do this for him? Can we do this for him? Back in the day, a kid would just disappear from class and you didn't know the kid was sick. You didn't realize what, but now we live in an open book world to where, everybody shares everything and it's just out there. Juice World, we're just talking about anything and everything tonight. Are y'all playing with the buttons? Y'all are messing with the buttons. It ups the engagement if you hit the buttons. That's the hearts and things like that. Hello, Bridget. How are you? Yeah, hit the buttons. Betty and Larry, they never got attention before. Absolutely, Betty. Absolutely. They had no clue the amount of attention that was, headed to them. Awesome. We prayed for a child with a tumor in his brain 3 months later. He was healed. Prayed the Lord. You got it. Hello, Kathleen from Texas. I know what it takes to be famous. I filmed without my acknowledgement. Look at that. I've got 65. You got 65 likes going on here, Malaya's mom. Look at you. Greetings from Germany. Well, thank you, Bridget. I'm a big fan of yours. Guys, the power of fame is not all it's not all cracked up to what you think it is. Um, it is something that you've got to deal with. Um, like I said, with me being on the radio here in this little town, I go to the grocery store and my niece and everybody complains about it because they're like, when we go to the grocery store with you, it's an hour deal to the grocery store because everybody knows you. Everybody wants to stop and talk to you. Everybody wants a little piece of your time. When you go to the gym, everybody wants to stop and ask you a question. Everybody wants a little piece of your time and things like that. And guys, I'm telling you now, I am an extremely small fish in a large pond. But because I'm heard on the radio 6 days a week, people want to stop and just share their opinion with you. They want to talk with you. You become part of their day to day routine. And the scary thing about it is that a lot of times you get to the point where they feel like they know you as a family member. And it's scary some days when you meet certain people and they try to become something that, you know, you want to be kind to them, you want to be nice to them, you want to, but you just don't know how to convey that love back to them that they have for you because you may not know them the way that they think they know you. Well, Sarah, you're out here with us. Oh, Duncan, come on now. Look, here's the thing, Pete, and you know as well as I do. We're family. We are a large family in this room, and we look out for each other. We take care of each other. Well, thank you, QT. I appreciate that. Have not seen, yeah, Rocker was here earlier. He was eating, was Rocker here earlier? I thought I saw Rocker earlier. Fun, are you living barely or barely living? I'm living good. I'm living good these days. I got the good Lord on my side and we are rolling. I didn't see Rocker. Okay. I thought I had seen Rocker tonight. But said Santa is real. You never know where Santa may pop up. It's good to see you, Mary. I hope all is well as well. Really? On the vibrating belt, the big that thing, doing better than I deserve. Too blessed to be stressed. Every day I wake up is a good day. You got it. And please, when you wake up in the morning, thank the big man upstairs for the day that you are about to receive. What do I want for Christmas? We say it all the time, and it's one of a lot of people say, oh, everybody, I want peace. I want happiness. I want good health for everybody. Um, I'd like to see this world get to a point where um, things can get back to just being normal to a sense. Um, and I know normal is an extremely strange word to use these days because what is normal? Um, I want kids to be able to play out on the streets and not have to worry about getting shot, not have to worry about getting abducted. Um, I want people to be able to go to the grocery store and just be able to shop and able to have enough money to feed themselves and to feed their animals. Um, I just like to see us in a world where things are just getting better. We spend so much time as a society talking about what's going wrong in this world. We need to start talking about what we can do to make it right. And that's, that's what I would love to see. I'd love to, we're still in a government shutdown, folks, because people can't come to an agreement on things. the people that are out of work are doing without the paychecks. The people who can't agree are still getting paid. Something's not right in the world. You're getting a paycheck, but the people that you're saying you're fighting for aren't getting a paycheck? Come on, don't do that. Don't do that. It's crazy. Um, I tell my coworkers all the time, yes, Kathleen, happiness, yes. You keep saying those prayers before you go to bed, QT, and you say them in the morning. And I always tell people, my grandmother used to teach me that in the morning when you go to bed at night, make sure you kick your shoes up under that bed a little bit to where in the morning you got to get on your knees and get your shoes. And while you're down here, thank the good Lord for another day up on this earth. And she would always tell us that and laugh, because to her it was hilarious. Um, Hello, Bobby. How are you? Nancy, it's ridiculous. It really is. You these people want to work, and we fight over the petty little things that can be worked out if everybody just sits down and works together. But if it's not something that affects your interest, then you don't want to have interest in it. You don't want to be bothered with it. And it's like, come on, just work together. Sit down and let's just come to an agreement on something. Let's find a resolution to this. Let's get it done. Let's get people back to work. Don't just keep fighting over this stuff. You got it, Tracy. Yes. Should suspend their pay as well. Tell them they have to work for free for a little while. Look at Tony putting up the peace sign. James, you're probably right. You were probably right. Sarah said, I can get down there. The problem is getting back up. Let me tell you something. There are days where I'm talking, it's getting harder and harder these days to maneuver around a little bit. Hello, Victoria. There's everybody. Yep. There's Mary. Yeah, Mary, whew, there are days, and especially with the Littleys. Oh, with the Littleys, I'm talking they run around and full force. I don't know if you guys have them in your communities right now, but we have the lantern bugs, the little bugs with the wings, and they got black and red on them. And you want to talk about a bug that will tear a tree to pieces? These little lantern bugs will tear a tree to pieces. Uh, Lucian chases those things around all over the yard. And he's like, "Hey, come here, come here, come here, come here. Let me show you this. We're doing this." You're just all over. And with a 4-year-old, they're on high octane fuel that they're just rolling. My 3-year-old client wanted me to ride in a wagon all afternoon today. Boy, is my foot hurting. You got it. Birds that sing, everything. They do jump when you try to get them. There's Miss Sherry. Sherry Jordan. It's rough getting old. It's not for the faint of heart. I will tell you that. If you're scared of getting old, trust me. All I know is we have love bugs and it destroys the paint on our car. Sarah, is it a lot of them? I know that there, you see some people talk about these little bugs and how many of them there are, and I know in the trees right now, it's a ton of them. Melissa said she's getting off here. Prayers for you tonight, Melissa. Definitely. Car, right? Yeah. Is it a lot of them on your car? Look at that. Betty says I'm 73, 3 mile walk every day. Still getting around. 3 miles there, 3 miles back, 6 miles. Look at you. That is awesome. You're only as old as you feel. Yes. I am thankful for every day that the good Lord gives me. QT, that is awesome. QT says, Santa, I bought a homeless man a meal at McDonald's today with my own money, and my dad was proud of me. That is awesome. QT, it literally a meal could have easily changed that person's life in a way that you'll never know. But you showed kindness, you showed love, you knew that person was down, you put a hand out and you lifted that person up for the day. That's awesome. Great job. Great job. God bless you. Mm. Thank you, Malaya's mom. I don't know what that was. Insulin time. You got it. Yeah, let's everybody hop off here. Insulin time for Miss Sarah tonight. It's been over an hour. Boy, time flew by tonight. We just were all over the place. Y'all have a great evening. Pray for the Whitakers. Pray for everybody in the room tonight. God bless you. Stay safe. Go do something good for somebody tomorrow. Anita said, QT, how kind. Bought a tent. Yeah, no, if you guys can help someone, go help someone. That is the thing to do. And just, just be supportive, loving, and caring. Plain and simple. But if you can help, and here's the thing as well, and I'll say this again to you, and I know some people are hopping off here, but I know a lot of people want to help each other, but please don't take away anything from yourself. If you are on medication, if you are struggling eating, things like that, I know you want to give and I know you want to do well, but we want to see you taken care of as well. Make sure you get your medicines, make sure you get food, make sure you feed your fur babies, take care of everybody. Everybody will be fine, but you take care of yourself too. I know everybody wants to help, but please, by all means, um, don't you do without to try to help others. Make sure you're okay. Let's make sure you got medicine and things like that. You guys have a great night. Thank you so much. God bless you. I'll talk with you tomorrow. Pray for the Whitakers. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye now.